In today's episode, we are doing part 2 of time with Sarah because we had so many things to talk about in this interview. And for this show, we're going to dive into coaching and really what's next for her as she continues on her path forward. I really feel like this episode is going to give you some insight into what it's like to coach, what it's like to become a coach. Let's continue the conversation. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you. Because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it. So you can start living your best life as your best self. With all of this, I love that you shared your past experience, and I love that we are talking about now and just how you've totally crushed, your recovery, and you continue to lean into that because I feel like it's a journey, right? We're constantly on the path and continuously talking against any voice that might come up in our mind. And so you're going to continue to do those things because now you know how to attack when that voice happens and life feels out of control. And that's all part of the prevention strategies that we've worked on together. But for forward focus, where has this brought you to? Just experiencing your own relationship with food in your body and just experiencing the coaching container. Where has this brought you to in terms of what's next for you? Because I think that that's special in what you're wanting to do next to share with ladies because of the inspiration that you give to others.
Yes, that was actually kind of part of my why. And I think I mentioned it to you either first or second session is I want to be a coach. And because I just knew you had given me so much hope and I want to give that same hope to others out there. And I want to not let people feel like they're so alone. I want to be there by their side, available to them, something that a therapist can't do. They can't be available 24/7, but that's something that a coach can do. And another thing that a coach can do is relate with them because they were right there, right where they were at. And I have always been a person who wants to help people, but I've never really figured out what that was. And I'm 45 years old now, and I finally figured it out. And it's helping people who have an eating disorder. And I just want to attest that it's, I'm just so grateful that you and I have connected. And it is going back to the investment. It's been the number one investment that I have made in my entire life. Because not only did I invest in you, I invested in myself, which has, trickled down to my family, to my husband, my friends. It's just my entire life. And so, I would do it over 1,000,000 times. So I just want to thank you again, like over and over.
You're going to make me cry. I want to come through the computer. You guys can't see us on the podcast, but we're on Zoom, and there's just this special attachment when it comes to seeing somebody overcome the biggest blocker in their life. That's why I became a coach, because I wanted to give that same freedom that we all talk about. It's something that we aspire to, but unless you've kind of felt it for yourself, right? It's hard to really relate to what that is. It's something that you just want. You don't want to feel that you're trapped in the disorder anymore. You want to life free from that. And when you've experienced it, I'm not going to keep that to myself. And that's what you're feeling now is like, I'm not going to keep this to myself. Other women are going through this. And that's why we're here talking about it today. But for me, it felt like a duty and obligation and something to share with the world, because I still feel like we are so far behind the times. Like we've got technology and social and all these things that are blasting these images up on a daily basis. But in terms of the support that women need because of this infatuation with image, we are behind on that level of support. And so the more coaches that we can get, the better. And you're a true gem. I know that this is just the beginning. So you guys saddle up because you're going to be hearing more from Sarah on coaching, but it really is a passion-driven thing. And just to hear you talk about the investment speaks to me, right? Because I invest in a ton of different coaches. I think I've shared that. And every investment hasn't always been the best, but when I've put my all into it and I've done my research on the person and I believe in what it is that they're helping support me with, and I've made that commitment just like you did, there's power in that place to go, okay, now I've got nothing to lose because I just put my all out on the line and I'm determined to make this happen. And now I have an accountability partner who's a friend for life. I mean, I'm your friend for life. Like, you know that. Now here we go. Like, we're going to do this. And I think that that's what women need is sort of a ride or die buddy that's going to come along and be like, if you won't grant yourself permission, because I remember, sharing this even in session with you, like, if you're not going to give yourself permission to eat the bagel or eat the cinnamon bun or whatever it is, take Lindsey's, take mine. And so part of that you don't have when you're out there doing it by yourself. And it's hard because you've got that battle in your mind. So I can't wait to see you grow into the coaching space. I think that you're going to love it. And I don't know, it's just a really fun place to be because you get to pour into other people with all the tools that you've learned. So anything else you want to share with the crew today? I know we could talk for hours, guys. Sarah's just dynamite. And you have such a place in my heart in this space because of the work you've done. And you should be so proud of the work you've done. Anything else before we round out today's episode?
I just want to thank you so much. And just like little nuggets, like fight the fear and do it anyway. Trust your body, trust in God. He is not going to let anything bad happen to you. And trust, if you end up going with the coach, trust your coach. She is not going to let anything bad happen to you. And you just have to, I know it's so hard to surrender, but once you do, you'll have just so many aha moments and you'll be able to live your life of freedom. So, yeah.
I love that. I want to be like, amen, sis. That's what we're saying. So everyone that's listening, I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to bring Sarah to all of you and you were able to get another perspective, not only into coaching, but just life change, because that is what this is. It is transformational life change. And Sarah, I'm just thankful that you were open to being vulnerable on this platform, because I know that's not always the easiest, right? Like, I have a gazillion testimonies of women that I've worked with, right? But coming out and sharing what this has done in your life is not always easy because of what other people think. And it's a very private place, and that's okay. Like, I want to honor that. I appreciate you for, standing up and saying, like, I want others to hear my story, because if it helps just one person, then we've done our job. I love you, lady. And thanks all for listening today. We cannot wait for you to replay this one because there are some good nuggets in this episode. So listen back to it. And thanks for joining us on the podcast. Hey girl, before you go, I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to part 2 of Sarah's interview. Go back and listen to the part 1 version of this, which is the episode right before this episode. There are so many goodies in that episode, navigating what it's like to not only understand how important it is to recover with somebody that can hold you accountable, but also to hear that hope and that inspiration of somebody that's been there and done that when it didn't always look possible, when it wasn't always fruitful. I want you to heal, sis. I want you to heal so badly. I want you to heal so that you can see that the attention that the eating disorder is wanting is not love. The attachment that the disorder is giving you is not real connection. And the bare minimum that you are doing in life right now is not true effort. Sis, you were put here for a purpose. You truly were. And I know that it's far, far from the life that you're living right now if you're finding yourself counting every morsel of food, finding yourself exhausted, overwhelmed, anxiety-driven, and ashamed. There is more than this life. I believe in you. Just know that you have to go through it to get to the other side. You have to fall down so that you can rise up again. You have to hit your bottom to introduce yourself to your top. Don't stop, sis. When you get there, you're gonna see a brand new, best version of you waiting for you on the other side.